Welcome to Channel Trading. Today I want to go over one of the lines I put on my chart, which is yesterday's close. For ES, it is 5 p.m. close at yesterday's price. So at 5 p.m., this is the last candle, and that's where I put the line there. That's the close. And then what I want to go over is how the price action interacts with this particular line, the closing price. And as you know, if the next day's price is above yesterday's close, you have a positive day. Otherwise, if it is trading below, it's a negative day. And that's given. But how the price action actually interacts with this line is pretty interesting. And it will show you some insights as to why a certain lines have to be on your chart, because they're really helpful. It's objective. It's not subjective where you're putting some trend line somewhere and everyone's drawing a trend line a certain way. And they all differ in some way, depending on what you're looking at and how you want to draw them. But yesterday's closing price is closing price. There's no interpretation of that other than one price. So I just want to show you how it interacts and what exactly you can do about it. Okay. So one of the things is I'll quickly go over how show you the line and the way the price interacts with it and how to trade that. So we can go over this. It's all, if you see for the past, this is a 2-minute candle, 2-minute candle. And as you can see, it's dropping quite a bit for about 2-3 hours or so. And it drops into this and you see a fairly good positive response. And this is almost like a $8.5 dollar candle. That's about $400 there. So what you're looking for right now is, as you have seen in one of my previous videos as to how I actually trade, I enter with 2 contracts, and the first contract I take off $2 or $3. If I'm really feeling good, maybe go more than that, but never go beyond $4. So I would take off anywhere between $2 to $4. And then the second one, I let it run, but then I also move the stop to break even. So that way, at a minimum, I get about $200 or $150, depending on, I'm taking $3 or $4 off the first contract. Okay. So, I'm not even looking at what other things I have, right? I'm showing how the price interacts with this one closing price and what you could really benefit from and what you're looking at. So that's all I'm doing here. So if you look at it, let's go over any number of interactions that it has, and it closes. It's coming from under. It closes above the yesterday's close, and I would go somewhere here to enter 2 ticks above, and then go for that. And then again, when it came down, look at this spot itself. The exact number where the closing line is. What is happening to the price action? So never really assume that the price is going to go up or price is going to go down. I mean, you pretty much approach the pricing or the line or the support resistance line or demand zones or whatever it is. All you're looking at is you have to start showing interest there and to say, what would it do? What would the pricing do? You really are not predicting anything. As soon as you start predicting, you're doomed. I see so many videos on YouTube and everywhere else, people start talking about, price will come here and then it will go up and then it goes down and then it starts to go up. No one knows that. The next day you won't be going and cross-checking that guy. And I have done so many cross-checks against so many of those predictions, and about 70-80% of them don't even talk about that next day, and the others don't work. So just believe me, after losing a lot of money and a lot of time, this is what I would do. I would not predict anything. All I'm saying is, hey, I have this line. How does the price interact at that point? As soon as it comes down, if I see this kind of reaction where I have a strong reaction, even though it's been coming down, I would take that and I would put the stop loss underneath that, right? And then again, it came down, nothing happened. It just sliced through. So then I know this pretty much is, it's gone. There is no bounce, right? So it came down and then you came back up. I'm thinking, this is a doji. It's just like you don't know which way it's going to go. And then this particular candle is what would tell me, hey, it closed above the yesterday's close, so there is potential for this to go up. And it went up and came down before, right? So I would just put somewhere around here as my entry, and I would take that. Okay. Next thing, came down, again sliced through, nothing, came back up, got rejected, and then after this particular candle, I know this is going down, because it got rejected there, and then I see a very strong close. So I would go somewhere here, and then I would put above this as my stop. So that's how I would trade. Same thing, if you see, oh, it came back up, this would be a pretty good indication of, hey, potentially this could go up. But there is a big negative candle, right? But when the next candle closed like this and below the previous candle's low, this is going down. Okay, so that's how I would trade. And here, beautiful candle, never triggers because they both are at the same level. I would, as I suggested in one of my previous videos, always enter 2 ticks below my trigger candle. This is a trigger candle because it closed quite beautifully, engulfing the previous candle. So I would put 2 ticks underneath that and never triggered. If it does not trigger within the next 1 or 2 candles at the most, I never enter. Closed right at the close, and this would be my trigger candle, never triggers. This again, no entry there. But the point is to see how much interaction is going around this this particular yesterday's close. Okay, so you can open any number of charts and look at yesterday's close and how it interacts with yesterday's close, right? And you will see what exactly and how exactly you can trade it. And as I said, always look for confirmation. If something is off, how would you, how is the price interacting? And always look for confirmation before you enter. And the advantage with that is the candle that is confirming is going to be a trigger candle. You're right below that as your stop, so you never lose more than 1 candle, or at the most 2 candles. So that's how you would work with it. Okay, hope this is helpful. Subscribe.